Okay, so the James Webb Space Telescope, JWST, might have just found something huge. It spotted weird light coming from Proxima Centauri b, which is this planet super far away, like 7 billion kilometers. What's wild is that the light looks kinda like how cities look from space here on Earth. Everyone's buzzing about whether this could finally be proof of aliens. This light isn't like anything natural. It's got patterns, stays bright, and is consistent. That hints at someone using tech. For ages, we've been staring at the stars, hoping to find someone else. This is the first time something's looked this promising. The JWST is a seriously powerful telescope, and the data it's sending back is making even the biggest skeptics rethink things. Maybe, just maybe, there's a civilization living on Proxima Centauri b. It's still just an idea, but it's got scientists working like crazy. One astronomer, David Kipping, noticed Proxima b gets weirdly warm. Usually, planets cool down in a predictable way, but Proxima b's night side is warmer than it should be. And because the JWST can see infrared light, it was able to see the patterns on the dark side. These patterns really look like city lights, grids, and clusters. So, one idea is that if someone lives there, they might be using solar power on the sunny side to light up the dark side. It's worth noting that Proxima b is tidally locked, meaning one side always faces its star, and AMP, the other is always in the dark. Someone would have to be pretty clever to deal with that. Now, the JWST is checking out Proxima b's atmosphere. They are trying to detect things like oxygen, methane, and water, as those chemicals suggest the presence of life. But scientists are being careful since methane can also come from volcanoes and stuff. Checking out a planet's atmosphere from that far away is hard. But if we can pull it off, it could tell us if Proxima b could host life. The JWST is so precise that it can even pick out tiny signals from the planet and even found pulses of light that don't disappear quick. Some scientists are wondering if these flashes could even be signals. The JWST is in just the right spot to keep watching Proxima b as it goes around its star so we can see what happens and if the lights keep shining over time. Soon there will be bigger, more powerful telescopes coming online will bring into the game as well. Even though this is exciting, scientists are playing it cool and know it's tough to know for sure what's going on so far away. The JWST also can't see that many planets, so we need even better ways to look at them in the future. Even if it turns out those lights are natural, we'll still learn a lot about how planets work. But if they end up being aliens, that would change everything. It would prove we're not alone and make us rethink everything. People are curious and excited. Scientists are studying where the heat is coming from and how the lights change. They're even trying to think about what alien life would be like on a planet that is orbiting a red dwarf star, and what kind of technology will they have. What if the light are something ancient, like the remains of a civilization that went away long ago? It's also made scientists think about what would happen if we actually figured out we weren't alone. Should we talk to them? What if that was dangerous? These are big questions that don't have easy answers. Right now, everyone's talking about it online and in the news and in school. The more we learn, the closer we get to figuring out if we are the only ones out here. The idea that aliens might be out there, watching the skies just like us is something else. The idea has big implications. It may force us to ask questions about our values and where we are headed. Even if we are studying the alien tech, and if it is something as simple as city grids, we can study energy distribution and urban life of others. If life is truly responsible, there is an argument that we can search to detect some form of direct communication that is used accidentally. While these theories are not possible, but any civilization has developed the space-based energy collection. The discovery has been a topic of discussion which is known as Fermi paradox. For the discovery of the lights, scientists may consider that we are beginning to cross the silence of interstellar. Proxima will give a sign of living society and suggest life to ensure the challenges to reach a stage of global-scale tech. If a discovery has been made, what responsibilities do we have? Do we have the right to observe? Therefore, the public is growing. The lights of Proxima symbolize the beginning. To look into this further, JWST is doing an in-depth look at Proxima B's atmosphere. By watching starlight pass through the air, scientists can tell what it's made of. They're looking for things like oxygen, methane, and water vapor, because if they're all there, it could mean life, especially if they're not in a normal balance. While oxygen is hard to spot with JWST right now, they can look for ozone, which shows up when UV light breaks down oxygen, suggesting plants are present if you also see water and methane. But we have to be careful. Methane can also come from volcanoes, so scientists are checking the data with planet models to be sure they're not mixing up natural stuff with signs of life. Finding stuff in the atmosphere from far away is hard, but it's the best way we have to see if a planet could have life. JWST can work with very small bands of light, so it can tell the difference between background stuff and real signals from the planet. This helped them find regular pulses of light from Proxima B's night side that stay the same in length and color. Some scientists think these could be from power grids or even messages to other stars. But everyone agrees that we need to rule out natural things first before saying it's aliens. Adding to the mystery, JWST and Proxima B are lined up just right. The planet goes around its star every 11.2 Earth days, and JWST can watch the whole thing rotate. This long viewing period is important to make sure that the lights are constant and not just some weird, random event. In the next few years, scientists want to study these findings with bigger tools, like the Extremely Large Telescope, ELT, which should be up and running in 2028. The ELT will give us an even better view of the atmosphere. Even with all the excitement, scientists are staying calm. Planets are complicated, so it's hard to say for sure what's going on. Even good data can be seen in different ways, especially when we're talking about planets so unlike Earth. JWST can also only look at a few close planets, so we need missions that can block out more starlight and take pictures of planets directly. Still, finding what looks like structured lights on Proxima Centauri b is a big deal. Even if it turns out to be natural, it will help us understand planets better. But if these lights are really aliens, it would change everything. It would prove that we're not alone and make us rethink our values, beliefs, and place in the universe. Knowing that there are other smart beings out there would start an amazing time in human history. We would be facing a new part of our story with other beings who might have grown in very different places. This idea has made everyone curious. Scientists are checking Proxima B's heat and light patterns to see if they're being controlled intelligently. For example, they're checking if the signals change with the day or seasons, which could point to lights that are being controlled by some technology. Scientists are also making models of possible societies on Proxima b, which orbits a star that gives off more infrared than visible light. Life there would need to adapt to extreme heat changes, maybe with buildings designed to handle heat or life living underground. One big question is how old and advanced this society might be. If the lights have been on for a long time, it could be the height of their civilization or the last bit of it. The fact that we can even ask these questions shows how far we've come in science. Before, the idea of finding alien cities was just a movie idea. Now, it's a serious discussion among scientists. As JWST keeps watching and new technologies come online, we're getting closer to finding out if we're alone. With every new look, the line between science fiction and reality gets blurry. Somewhere out there, aliens might be looking at their sky, wondering the same thing. As JWST keeps looking at Proxima Centauri b, the idea that we might be seeing aliens becomes hard to ignore, even though it's not confirmed yet. The effects of such a discovery would be huge, not just for scientists, but for how we think about everything. Philosophers, people of faith, politicians, and regular people would have to deal with questions that used to be just in stories. What would it mean to know we're not the only smart beings in the universe? How would that change how we see ourselves, our values, and where we're going? It would go beyond feelings and ideas and get into the real sciences. Finding lights made by aliens would give us the first chance to study alien technology, even from far away. By watching the lights, we might be able to figure out how their energy systems work. Are they using solar power? Do they have technologies we don't know about? Even a simple lighting grid could tell us a lot. Besides lights, researchers want to listen for messages. JWST can help guide efforts to find radio or laser signals that might be aliens talking. If intelligent life is making the lights on Proxima b, we might soon pick up a message, on purpose or by accident. Even a secret message could show signs that it's not natural, like it's repeated, symmetrical, or has shifts in frequency. Some scientists are starting to think that these lights could be part of a huge system on the planet. Could we be seeing something that is collecting power from Proxima Centauri and moving it across the planet? Maybe the lights aren't from cities, but from factories, data centers, or even monuments to signal to the universe. These are just thoughts, but might be possible if we think any civilization that can collect energy from space would be way more advanced than us. This discovery has also made people think about the Fermi problem again. If there's a good chance intelligent civilizations exist, why haven't we heard from anyone? Some say that the lights on Proxima b might be the first sign that we're starting to break through that silence. Others worry that civilizations don't last long enough to talk to other stars. If Proxima b has life, it would mean that life can make it through problems to get to a point of making technology. Another interesting idea is that we might be seeing old stuff, not current activity. The lights might be old systems left behind by a society that's gone now, running on minimal power but still giving off energy. This would be amazing. It would give us the first proof of alien life and perhaps clues to how they lived and died. We also have to think about what this all means for how we act. If we know there's intelligent life out there, what should we do? Do we just watch, or should we try to talk to them? And how would we do that without causing problems? Talking to a civilization without knowing what they're like is dangerous. We need to think about science, but also how we would handle things like diplomacy and communication. Meanwhile, people on Earth are very curious. The internet is full of ideas, excitement, and hope. A lot of people see the lights on Proxima b as a start. A time when we stop asking if we're alone and start planning when we're not. Schools are already talking about this discovery in classes about space and ethics. Today's students could be the ones who have to deal with the impact of this discovery.